It is now 3:04 a.m. on October 3rd, 2020. During punditry by the Loop Tank insurrection through the Loop Tank Manifest Phenomena, during punditry of my activities today and discussion and mentioning that dynamics in the community toward me seem to be as if policies, and a lot of them have been about COVID, are restricting service in stores and restaurants and businesses, tending towards, and then realizing that it seems like that is tending towards what is prophesied to be restricting of buying and selling by Christians who do not take the mark of the beast, mentioning that as they're always talking off me, but I have noticed that it seems to be, that it definitely is a whole lot Punjabi demographic intent that by federal grants really manage all gas station convenience stores, because they, by federal grant, manage all their proprietors of all the gas stations, every single one. It's privatized by Punjabi, and it's mostly their conduct, and it seems to have spread. Punjabi sorcerers, and by sorcery means influencing also. Stop it! Stop loop taking, Bush! My voice! And Butch! Quit it! Alright, Bird, stop it! Interfering with my speech! Quit interposing and interjecting and trying to talk over my voice, copying! By my attempts to levy you, they call stealing my knowledge property for your misuse. Fabricated schemes, step deploys. Now stop it! Well, right then, there was great excitement by these 666 number taking, actually, in reality, Mark of the Beast takers already. Which has happened over the 6 years while they were in the sky. Loud speaking from the sky. The incidents were audibly heard of them convincing each other and taking the mark of the beast by tattoos. They conceal them in certain kind of ways, tiny little marks, but 666 on the right hand. In some kind of concealed way so far. When they had a problem, when there were some people that have freaking been gone and replaced by impersonators, doppelganger impersonators, personalities that have been gone, that actually tattooed 666 on their forehead and had problems in society. And these incidents were heard years ago, during the 6 years. Hey, I'm talking, quit doing that! Harassing me! You like us just scrolling on usual punishment? I'm gonna talk the way that I'm gonna talk, little punk ass freaking target on Broadway. And I'm gonna get over there. Now shut up! Well, anyway, these people that are talking are actually Mark of the Beast takers already. And Diane Sawyer with Carrie from Woodland, personality and identity representing as a prosecutor in Woodland, and Kate that works at Starbucks, have met each other, know each other, and keep company a lot amongst the whole group. And Sue Larson with Jeffrey Wall got all excited all of a sudden freaking the instant this was mentioned, and Diane Sawyer began with this group. Jeffrey Wall getting all excited about it, her noticing that Jeffrey Wall got excited about it, began discussing and then beginning to endorse the taking of the number of the beast and limiting and restricting sales and service at stores from Christians. That it needs to be done, according to her, with this group, agreeing with each other, and she began endorsing it. As a journalist, being heard from the sky as a sorceress, she just began doing that right now. And she did. Didn't you, Diane Sawyer? Jeffrey Wall got all excited, that's right. And you were agreeing with him and began discussing the endorsement of that policy. That has demonstrated to be intent of the Punjabi to restrict business and service to Christians in stores. And particularly, specifically, targeting mainly this one right here, Jacob, the centrally targeted figure, I. And that policy around here is moving toward pushing a sentiment toward these ends. And you were agreeing with it. Jeffrey Wall was excited about it. You began endorsing it. Is that not right, Diane Sawyer? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a good idea to restrict sales in stores to Christians, and specifically, mostly, mainly, this one, Jacob, centrally targeted figure? Do you think so, Diane Sawyer? Do you think it's any kind of constitutional at all? Do you think it contradicts our principles of our foundation in any kind of way? That's right, Katie Witch. Like a Gloria Steinem radical feminist bitch, right? Yeah, a Gloria Steinem radical feminist bitch witch, right? Right? And you're like that even though it flies in the face of the Constitution and is totally treasonous freaking activity, intent, so forth. You're criminal-minded with it as witches, right? You've been on these type sort of agendas as a Satanist, haven't you, Diane Sawyer? You have, haven't you? You have any answer, Diane Sawyer? No, I heard you, didn't I hear you? Yeah, you're in trouble. You are in big trouble, Diane Sawyer. You're in huge trouble. Bernie, do you remember a time when it was your graduation party after the first time that I ever drank beers offered by your father as beverages? You, I, and Coitus sat on the curb and you discussed that you were going to Cleveland State to study electronic engineering with some kind of foreknowledge by some way that you were going to be designing a fake Mark of the Beast chip, computer chip, to help Christians be able to buy and sell during the Great Tribulation. Do you remember this? Do you remember my response, Mark Perney? Do you remember me saying that sounded crazy because you would only be making the mark of the beast and that wouldn't be persevering? They were all satanic freaking cult members. Every single buddy that was at work, conspiring with my family behind my back. They were keeping it a secret from me. It was a conspiracy, so they weren't wanting me to know, so they weren't freaking telling me that they were. Knowing Brian Warner. Then they were plotting on my life. They knew Howard Stern. Jackson's changing my radio station to be my alarm clock. My alarm clock goes off. I'm not really paranoid about any of this. But I come home from work. My mother had somebody come over. He had a pistol getting out of the car. I ran out of my house, went somewhere to use a phone because he was coming to my house to freaking shoot me and say it was a suicide. By my witch mother. Contract killer. Coming to the house. The police stuck up for them. They false diagnosed me. There's absolutely nothing to it. I passed all psychological tests after that. There wasn't a single bit of paranoid, really. It was a real incident. Somebody was coming with a pistol. It was a contract killer. They were all lying and covering it up and concealing it. Implicating my mental state. That happened in 1997. Perney came over freaking afterwards. He was saying that he worked for a company at the time because he does all these loose things, doing all kind of loose things all over the place. And at the time, one thing he was doing was saying that he was designing or programming vending machine currency detectors. And that sounds like it's going a lot towards what you told me that you were trying to go to electric engineering for. He said, yeah, we're into a lot of that too. Now, that's what he told me. Is that not right, Mark Perney? I hear Jeffrey Wall. I hear UCMJ and Fractor Bruton over there, hovering above the bridge in Corporal. I hear Brian Warner. I hear Diane Sawyer. I hear Katie Witch. I hear David Grohl. Bye. You know what's so weird? Right now I'm hearing a totally different voice representing as Thad Linden than what was heard before, not recognized as the same. When his face on picture on Facebook looked significantly different than I would imagine him looking aging. One I really would not know because I haven't seen him in decades. But I am hearing a voice representing his Thad Linden, and so I'm not trying to acquit. Look, now you're getting all too emotional and getting histrionic again. As I start doing something, talking, moving, you start getting all histrionic, freaking escalating. It's really interfering with my life, okay? I start making a move, I make a sound with my mouth, you start escalating histrionics really bad. As soon as I move to start doing something, you got to know what that does to a freaking somebody's concentration, etc. It's, you know what time it is now?